Hello intentional woman, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayani May and let's jump right into the video. So the very first sign that you may be alone in your relationship is that you are always the one initiating. So this is where you're the one constantly reaching out, sending good morning messages, calling to check in, planning dates. You're always the one creating that connection while they simply respond. That's if they even bother to respond. And with this sort of situation, if you don't reach out to them, they don't bother reaching out to you. You may have complained about it and he told you he would change, gave you some silly excuses, but guess what? He doesn't change. Situations like these can create an emotional imbalance, right? Instead of that healthy rhythm of two people equally invested in a relationship, of two people working together to build something. So if you're always the one initiating, right, always giving more than you're getting, it usually means two things. The first one is that they're not truly interested or emotionally unavailable, while the second one is that they're perfectly comfortable letting you do all the work while they just passively receive. Either way, this is not love, right? I would say this is manual labor disguised as a connection. So you need to really sit back and think to yourself, why am I always the person initiating? Because that could just mean you are the only person invested in that relationship. Now, number two, he never shows up for you when you need help. If every time you go to your man to share something you're going through in the hopes that he would step in, support you, or lighten your load, but all you hear is, God will provide, or it is well, or my favorite, what are you going to do? Which this last one, right, is a subtle way of saying, carry your burdens by yourself. If these responses are always his go-to and not something he said once, then my love, thou art alone in that relationship. Of course, there are nuances to this, okay? There are times you go to him to talk to him, not because you want him to help, you just want him to listen. And there are times where he genuinely can't help because it is beyond him. I'm not referring to those situations. I am specifically referring to situations where you need help. He is capable of providing that help, yet he never ever does. Or worse, when he finally does offer to help you, he makes it painfully obvious that you are an inconvenience, that you are a burden, that you are asking for too much. You know when somebody wants to help you with something, but they make you feel so bad about it first. My darling, if this happens over and over and over, I'm sorry, but you're alone in that relationship. Because yes, your partner doesn't always have to come to your aid, but there's a way he approaches coming to your aid that you know this person loves you and supports you and wants you to be okay. So if that's not being done here, well, you know the title of the video. Now, number three, they don't carry you along when making decisions. And it could be that maybe they're moving to another city for a job, they're changing apartments, they are traveling for a long time, or it could just be certain financial decisions that indirectly impact you. They don't talk to you, they just do it. No heads up, no discussion, no what do you think or how would this affect us? They inform you after the fact. Or worse, you find out on your own. Can you imagine waking up and finding out that your boyfriend has moved out of his apartment and he never bothered to tell you? I know it sounds silly, but when you are in a relationship and your emotions are involved, you want to be carried along. You want to feel like you are a part of this person's life, and not just that, you are welcome into their life. So if something like this or similar happens to you, this is a glaring sign that in their mind, that relationship is not a we. It is a me and a you. Just two people that are, very loosely connected. Because while independence is healthy, exclusion is a no-no. When someone sees you as a true partner, they think with you. They don't think around you. They will come to you and they will seek your input. Not because they have to, but because they value it. They consider how their choices will affect the rhythm of your relationship. So if he doesn't involve you in decisions that impact both of you, it is not just thoughtlessness. It's almost like he doesn't even consider you. And that's a glaring sign that he does not see you as a central part of his life. And the truth, you're likely in that relationship by yourself. Now, number 4, you're always making excuses for him. The moment you realize that you are constantly rationalizing a man's poor behavior, you need to take a step back and ask yourself why. Because his bad behavior cannot always be because he is busy. He is stressed. He is not good at expressing himself. Or my personal favorite, he is going through a lot right now. How many excuses will it take you to accept what your heart probably already knows or even feels? Because by the time it gets to excuse number 20, your heart already knows something is not right. It can feel the imbalance, right? That your needs are not met. It can feel the inconsistency, the emotional absence. So constantly making excuses for a man usually means you do not want to confront the truth, which is that this man has detached from you and it's just one leg in the relationship and one leg out of the relationship. Because the fact is, him acting this way may not have started in the beginning. It could just be something that is just developing, right? So it can be difficult to understand because here is this new behavior he is displaying, but every time you remember how caring and wonderful he was, as difficult as that is, you still have to understand that it could just mean that he's not feeling the relationship anymore, but doesn't really want to say anything about it. So he blows hot and cold. The worst part in this type of situation is when you make excuses for behaviors that if the roles were reversed, he wouldn't take from you. He would call you out and hold you accountable. So you have to be, I don't know the word to use, you have to be nurturing to yourself too, to notice when somebody's behavior has changed. Because when someone truly cares for you, you won't always need to explain his actions, right? His love won't feel like this puzzle that you need to figure out before you can understand. And you won't be stuck justifying the bare minimum to your friends and your family, or worse, to yourself. So when you keep making excuses for someone's lack of care, effort, or presence, then you are no longer in a relationship with them. You can call it one, you can call it a relationship, but that doesn't mean that it is. Number 5, you are always the one trying to fix things. Every time there's a problem, you're the one addressing it. You initiate the hard talks. You offer solutions. You bring up your concerns. He just nods, listens, makes vague promises. But guess what? Nothing changes. Another example here is often after a conflict, they don't try to reconnect with you. I mean, you've just had an argument. There's a bit of an emotional distance between the both of you, but he does nothing. It's almost like he's okay sitting in the silence. He won't reach out. He won't check up on you or even try to bridge the gap. So you find that you're the one managing the mood, resolving conflicts and trying to keep things afloat in the relationship. While for him, things are perfect the way they are. This is where things like silent treatment comes in. And apparently, some men are so good at it, because I recently heard a story where a lady said that her husband gave her the silent treatment. She was pregnant, she gave birth, and months after her giving birth, he still didn't talk to her. Listen, do not let this be you. Do not be in a situation whereby it feels like you're the only one who values the relationship. You're the only one who can see this amazing thing that both of you have together. Because if there is a conflict, especially when he's the one at fault, if the relationship is important to him, he should be the one reaching out to you. He should be the one coming to you to try and make amends, not him pulling back. And sometimes I feel like men also do this because they are dealing with a woman they know can't handle silent treatment. It's not someone like me. What you're doing to me is silent treatment. To me, you do not exist, because I'm a talker. I want us to talk things through. There's room for you to figure things out. The moment you shut down and act like things are okay the way they are, you're indirectly telling me you're done with the relationship. That's what you're telling me. As tough as this can be, you have to pull back too. If he's at fault and refusing to apologize, refusing to meet you, to lean in and make amends, you pull back too. Because it is exhausting carrying the emotional load in a relationship. You might as well just stay by yourself. Number 6, his energy feels off even when he says nothing is wrong. You can't explain it, but you feel it because you have a God-given intuition. You can feel that detachment. You can feel that there's less warmth, less softness. The emotional energy feels colder. He doesn't ask you questions anymore. He is no longer curious about you, your thoughts, your day, your dreams. He's just not interested anymore, right? And this can lead to you sharing less and less and less with him, which probably means you're lonely in the relationship because you know even if you share it with him, he will dismiss it, or worse, he won't even remember the things you shared with him because he is no longer invested in the relationship. It's almost like you're dealing with somebody who has mentally checked out, but their physical body is still present in the relationship. I think I'm saying relationship a lot. But you get what I'm talking about. And the worst part here is that even if you ask him, he'll say nothing is wrong. But in your gut, you know something is off. You can even sense that he wants out of the relationship, but he just doesn't want to say it. Because no matter how much you try to silence that voice, that gut feeling, it'll keep on whispering, this is not it, this is not it, this is not it. And oftentimes in relationships like this, you will notice that things start to feel stuck. You know, you're not progressing anymore. It just feels stagnant. And if you used to talk about the future, that conversation just dies. Nobody's exploring what your life is going to be like together. You can't even talk about it because since the thing inside of you senses that this person is no longer as invested, bringing up that kind of conversation is almost like you're trying to force things, or you're trying to manipulate things, or you're trying to force him, to tell you, you know what, I'm done. So you sort of keep quiet and things just stay stagnant. So my darling, if this is where you are, well, you have a decision to make. Number 7, you have to prepare them for emotional conversations. There is something about walking on eggshells around someone that makes a relationship difficult. You know, when you have to tiptoe around them, edit yourself when you are around them, constantly filter your thoughts, your feelings, your needs, so you don't push them away. And when you want to have a conversation with them, especially the heavy kind of conversation, you have to prep yourself and then you have to prep them. So you find yourself saying things like, this thing I want to say to you is not like I'm angry, or it just feels like this thing that you do, you can't express yourself because you know that if you do, they'll either dismiss it, they will not do anything about it, they will tell you you're too sensitive, or some other hurtful thing. And also if you express yourself the way you truly want to do it, they would likely leave. They would end that relationship. And that right there is all the sign you need to know that you are alone in the relationship. The truth is that you're just not brave enough to face reality yet. And I use the word yet because I am hoping that after watching this video, you will find the courage within you to say, you know what? I feel alone in this relationship. My needs are not met. You don't listen to me. You're not treating me the way I deserve to be treated. This is not the way I want to be loved. So instead of being in a relationship with you and I'm lonely, how about I come out of it and see what's going to happen? Maybe you will be lonely, maybe you won't. You never can tell. I always tell the ladies in this community, it doesn't make sense to be with a man and constantly be in pain when you can come out of that relationship, be in pain for let's say a month or 2, and then you start to find your joy again. The math is not mathing, okay? I would choose 2 months of pain over 2-3 years of constant anxiety and pain. So you see all of these points that I just laid out. If any of them resonates with you, then you have to think really, really hard and ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it to be alone in a relationship? All right. And the final point is that you are waiting for this video to continue. I know it sounds funny, but let's look at it critically, okay? When you consume content like this, when you are invested in listening to me address a topic like this, right? It usually means there's something going on in your relationship. Not always, of course, please. It could just mean that there's something going on in your relationship that you're hoping a video like this can clarify. And I may not say something that resonates with you, but you know already. You know something is off. So I don't need to say it for you to know what it is, because your gut is already telling you. Like I said before, you have intuition, a God-given intuition. So if you are feeling this type of way, and I did not mention the specific point that is making you feel this way, but you do feel this way, come out, my darling. Come out. It's not worth it. That relationship is absolutely not worth it. All right. And that's it for today's video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You know, I always love to hear your thoughts. So share them with me in the comment section. I have a bit of a cold, so maybe that's why my voice sounds funny, even feels funny to me. I'm sniffling too. So share your thoughts with me. Are you experiencing something like this? Did you experience something like this? What did you do? Right? Let me know so I can, over here learn from you and interact with you. Don't also forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because on this channel I create content that helps you grow into the best version of yourself for yourself. Trust me, you will love it here. As always, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, by the way, see my sleeves? They're really cool and really big. Bye, ladies.